Their love was forbidden, yet nothing made sense to Fatima aside the sinful desire to be involved with her father's friend. Fatima walked through the big, shiny hallway in her father's house. Her hijab was neatly placed on her head and it moved gently as she walked. She tried to look calm, but inside her heart was racing. From the living room, she could hear voices talking. As she peeked inside, she saw a face she could never forget. It was Al Imran. He wasn't like her father's other friends. He was younger, kind, and very handsome. Even when she was little, she liked him, though she didn't know why. Now that she was older, her feelings were stronger, but she still couldn't say them out loud. Years ago, Al Imran disappeared after his marriage ended. He left everything behind to start over. Even then, Fatima had secretly watched him, her heart full of feelings she didn't understand. Seeing him now made her heart beat fast. She froze when her father saw her and called her out, "Fatima, come out and say hello to Al Imran." She felt nervous and excited at the same time. She fixed her scarf and walked into the bright living room, trying to stay calm. Al Imran turned to look at her when she came closer. His serious face softened into a kind smile. He looked at her for a moment longer than she expected, and it made her cheeks feel hot. She said hello quietly, her voice steady even though her feelings were thrilling inside. A few days later, Fatima was driving through a busy street when her car stopped working. She parked on the side of the road and tried calling her dad for help, but he didn't answer. Just as she was about to order a ride, a white car pulled up beside her. The window rolled down and there he was, Al Imran. "Fatima, are you okay?" he asked, looking worried. She explained what happened, feeling a little shy under his gaze. She told him she was on her way to drop off papers for a project her dad had helped her with. "I will take you," he said firmly. She hesitated, but he insisted, so she got into his car. The ride was quiet at first, except for the soft hum of the engine. Fatima stole a glance at him, noticing how serious he looked while driving. When they arrived, he stayed in the car and refused to leave until she was done. "I can't leave you here alone," he kindly said, and his words made her feel safe. After that day, they started talking more often. He asked for her phone number, saying he wanted to make sure she was okay. Soon, their chats became longer and they talked about everything, her dreams, his life, and their faith. Whenever she had an errand, he would adjust his schedules to go with her. He became someone she could trust and look up to. But he always respected her boundaries. He never did anything to break the rules of their faith. Instead, he helped her learn more about God, sharing lessons from the Quran and his own life. One evening, Al Imran invited her to dinner. The restaurant was quiet and cozy, though they had spent night together before. This night felt different. "Fatima," he said, looking into her eyes, "you've brought so much light into my life. I've always prayed about this and I want to marry you." Her heart raced with happiness, but she also felt afraid. Her father had always said none of his daughters could marry a divorced man. She didn't know how to tell him about Al Imran. When Fatima got home, she nervously told her father that she wanted to marry someone. At first, he was happy and asked to meet the man's family. But when she said the man had been divorced, his smile disappeared. "No!" he shouted. "You cannot marry a divorcee." Fatima tried to explain, but her father wouldn't listen. She nodded quietly, but deep down, she knew she couldn't stay away from Al Imran. A few days later, Al Imran noticed she was acting distant. He asked her what was wrong, and she finally told him about her dad's disapproval. "I will speak to him myself," Al Imran said confidently. Once he knows it is me, he will understand. His words gave her hope, but their love was about to face an even bigger test. One evening, her father found out about their secret meeting and was furious. He called Al Imran to their house and demanded answers. "You will stay away from my daughter," he said angrily. But Al Imran stood his ground. "I love her," he said firmly. "I want to marry her and take care of her." For Fatimah, he was everything she had ever prayed for, a kind, strong man who brought her closer to her creator. Her father wasn't convinced. "Someone has sent me proof of you two being together. Until you find out who it is, I will not allow this marriage." That night, Fatima prayed hard for guidance. She didn't know what the future held, but she was ready to fight for the love she believed in. Al Imran felt the same. Together, they promised to find a way to make things right. Their journey was far from over, but they knew their love was worth it.